Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to our virtual town hall Q&A. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm just going to kind of jump right in there. This isn't a debate, and there are not, some of you I know got the information that Jacqueline Miller was going to be on tonight. She canceled at the last minute, but my friend Cathy Bridge-Lyles said that she would step in for her and talk about her issues with being on Lee Health. So what we're going to do is this: I'm going to let each of our candidates tell a little bit about themselves. They're going to talk about some important issues, and then we're going to go right into the Q&A. Our moderators for tonight is my friend Candace and Kim Ryan, and we'll go from there. And I'm going to start with Cathy.
Good evening, and thank you to Beach Talk Radio for being here and supporting us tonight. My name is Cathy Bridge-Lyles, and I am a registered nurse with a master's degree in administration and business. And so I have lived and worked in this community for 30 years, first as a pediatric nurse working at the bedside with critically ill children in the intensive care unit, and ultimately as the chief administrative officer, where I had oversight to build the children's hospital and responsibility to help raise $102 million. During that time, I also managed a $50 million a year budget and somehow always came in under budget while meeting all goals and expectations. So during these 30 years in my personal life and in my work life, I have learned a lot about business, about people, about relationships. And I know that if I bring these skills to the boardroom table, that I will be able to be a valuable asset. So I am running for Lee Health Board, District 5. You're able to vote for 2 people in each of the districts. And I'm Cathy Bridge-Lyles, past Chief Administrative Officer for Golisano. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy. Could you tell everybody in the audience why we vote for a Lee Health Board?
Yes, a lot of people don't realize, but we are a subunit of government. And in 1963, I believe it was, the legislature passed a bill, the House Bill 1615, and they said that Lee Memorial Health System is going to be a public hospital. It will not receive tax support, but it will be run and governed by a board of directors. So that's actually enabling legislation that exists still today with a few modifications. So it is a requirement for Lee Health to have a publicly elected board. And a little bit later on, I can talk about what the roles and responsibilities of board members are.
Thank you. So now we have Kevin Anderson. He's our mayoral candidate.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Anderson. I'm the current Ward 4 councilperson for the city of Fort Myers and a candidate for mayor. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I'm a veteran of the Fort Myers Police Department, where I spent almost 25 years. Started off as a patrol officer and worked my way up to major. And when I retired, I was the number 2 person on the agency. I was one of the first officers to work in the schools to keep kids out of trouble. I was very active with community programming. I brought to the agency the Citizens Police Academy, as well as the Citizens on Patrol programs. I received 2 gubernatorial appointments, one to the Children's Services Council of Lee County, and the second one to the Juvenile Justice Standards and Training Council for the entire state of Florida, to which I served as the inaugural chair. When I retired from the police department, I went to work at Chico's for 15 years, where I worked in senior management. Left there in June of 19, so I could focus on my duties as a council person. I believe I'm the candidate that brings the experience, the leadership, and the knowledge, and the commitment to this city to be your mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Before I do mine, I'd like Cathy to tell us, because I know I'm going to forget later on, tell us if she has any upcoming events and where you can reach out to her website and email address.
Yes, so my website is kblcampaign2020@weebly.com. I think that most of my events have been closed or finished. There's a few Republican meetings I'm going to attend and speak at, one actually Monday night on the 12th with Byron Donalds and his the person he's running against. I just had a mental block, but thank you, Cindy. And I look forward to hearing from Byron. He is a great speaker, and I'm going really, I'll do an introduction of myself, but I'm going really just to hear him and the debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy. Okay, Kevin, any upcoming events? Where can people see more about you?
Yes, you can learn more about me at www.kevinandersonformayor, and that's FOR.com. You can also contact me at info@kevinandersonformayor.com. So next Tuesday, we have the Tiger Bay debate, Tuesday evening at Broadway Palms. Looking forward to it. The following Tuesday, we'll have the Chamber Luncheon, Chamber of Southwest Florida. Then at the end of the month, we have two events. One will be with the Dunbar Pastors, and the other one will be at the Quality of Life Center. And those are on I believe the 29th and the 31st.
Those are on your Facebook page? I mean, on your website?
If they're not, they will be.
Okay, good. Sounds like you're busy. Okay, so my name is Margie Metzler, and I am a candidate for Ward 6 City Council seat. I moved to Ward 6 8 years ago, and I got involved with Ward 6 almost immediately. I started off as on our HOA turnover board. And then from there, I went to I formed the Fort Myers Citizens for Fair and Equitable Water Rates because the city was raising our irrigation rates sky high. And so we had to fight that. And I fought that for months in city council, but our group won. So we're very excited about that. And for those of you who live in Ward 6 or live anywhere in the city, our rates have not gone up because of that foundation that we built back there 6 odd years ago. After that, I was on the Economic Development Advisory Board for the city. And through that is when I learned so much is going on in the city. We are exploding in the city, and especially out here in Ward 6. So when our now council person decided not to run again for Ward 6, I thought we needed someone who knew what was going on in Ward 6. And since I am the only candidate who's been involved in Ward 6 for 8 years, I'm the only candidate who's been going to the monthly meetings and know what other people's our concerns and issues are, I felt it was time for me to step up and run for public office. I have a degree in business management and organizational development. What these people do, what we do is we go into mostly small businesses, but I've worked for really large corporations, and I've worked for Asian companies, but we go in and we make businesses viable. So if you're struggling and you don't know why you're struggling, then they call us and we come in, our team comes in and we figure it out. And so I use that background that I have with most of my decision-making process. I also am the spouse of an active duty naval officer, retired. And because of that, I've lived in 2 foreign countries and 11 states. I bring all of that knowledge with me, all the different types of government. I had to, while we were in the military, I had to deal with Washington, D.C. a lot because we were working on spousal issues and to get our spousal rights. And so I know how government works. You need someone who will go in there and fight for you. A little later on, I'll talk about what is actually happening out here in Ward 6. And so now I will turn it over to our moderators to ask us questions.
Cathy, and Kevin. We're actually going to start with Kevin for the first question coming in tonight from Facebook. We wanted to let you know, again, Kevin Anderson, Margie Metzler, and Cathy Bridges-Lillis. Kevin, you have a question coming in. We'd like to know, there's a lot of issues going on in various wards, especially in Ward 6, like Margie brought up. And as a whole, we usually only have one council person currently that's really being the advocate over the last few years. What can you do as mayor of the city of Fort Myers to make the change and set into precedence some more of a unity across the wards, if you may? And also, what will you be able to work with people like Margie and the other council people so that they're able to bring in some value to Fort Myers?
It's great question. One of the things I made clear right off the bat when I was elected to the council was I understood while I was elected by the residents of Ward 4, I was serving the entire city. And that for the city to really thrive and do well, we had to pull together. All 6, 7 of us counting the mayor. We couldn't be pulling in different directions. We had to recognize that each ward plays a part in the overall success of the city. So as mayor, I understand that. As a council person, I've made myself accessible, responsive, and transparent. I will do that as a mayor. I feel very capable of working with, as I've shown these last 2 years, to work with each one of the council members. I'm sitting here thinking of two evaluations I received at Chico's that shows my ability to work together with people. And one of them was one of my very first ones, and my boss put down that no matter what he threw at me, I was able to get it taken care of. And that came from not doing it by myself, but being able to work with other people. And the second one was when I got a new boss just a few years before I left, she put in there that I was affectionately known as the mayor of Chico's. And again, that comes from being able to work together with people to accomplish good things.
Great question. Great question. I know it's telling me to step back in.